Can I use epoxy to make my countertops? On the last video, we went over all the different options that you have to choose from when deciding to replace your countertops. If you missed the video, make sure to go back and watch it. What we found out with doing our research is that if there is damage to granite or marble or quartz, they actually repair it with epoxy. So we thought,
why don't we just start there?
So why not start with epoxy? We had to do a little bit of research. We found out that epoxy is basically plastic that gets harder and harder over its lifetime. And with that has extreme durability. It is heat resistant, it's stain resistant, it's scratch resistant, it's crack resistant. It was everything we were really looking for. So did it meet our cost? Yes, it was drastically cheaper than all of the other options. So did it meet our design needs? And yes, it absolutely did, because we were able to create any design we want and any shape we want without having to worry about the size of our counter. On top of that, when you go for a granite or a marble or a quartz, the higher, more exotic designs that I particularly like, the higher the cost is going to be. So we decided to do a little bit more trial and error. Instead of jumping right into a 100 square foot countertop with epoxy, we decided to go ahead and make our daughter a desk.
So before we dive right into doing 100 square feet of countertops, we wanted to start small so that we can build a bit of confidence in the product. All right, and we started with an art desk for our daughter Maya. And the first thing that we realized is that it's so easy.
I'm lucky that I have a really handy husband, and I had searched high and low trying to find the ideal desk. With an artist, she likes to spread everything out, so a really large surface is hard to find, and especially finding one that's pink, black, and white, which is what she wanted at the time. So I left it to him, who decided, hey, why not just build her one?
So after I got started on this desk, I learned three things pretty quickly. That it cures pretty hard, so that helped out with the durability factor. And two, it wasn't very expensive for us to get started on a small project like that. And thirdly, the color combo that our daughter was interested in, we were able to give that to her exactly the way she wanted it.
So after that, we thought, well, let's check into what it would take to do our own countertops using epoxy. So after the desk was built, we were convinced that epoxy could really be what we wanted to put on our countertops. But then we had to figure out, where else is epoxy used? Is it just used on desks? Because all I've heard of it was epoxy on garage floors, and I certainly didn't want a garage floor on my countertop. But it's a different type of formulation that they put on the countertops, and it's actually been used in most bars and restaurants that you've ever been to. It's on their tops, it's on their tables, it's on their surfaces, because it is non-porous, doesn't have to be resealed, so it's antibacterial, so it makes it food grade safe. So it was meeting all of our three top criteria. So it was durable, it was cost effective, and I could do the design that I wanted to do. So we decided to go ahead and tackle our countertops, and we did 100 square feet of epoxy countertops, and they turned out beautiful.
But let me tell you, one thing that we realized very quickly is that it's not as easy as we thought. There are so many unknown variables that we just weren't thinking about at the time.
It gets to be a very sticky situation.